NAVA acknowledges the Gadigal and Wangal peoples as the traditional custodians of the land on which this was filmed, and pays respect to First Nations communities, ancestors and elders.
My name's Cherine Fahd. I'd say I'm a photographer or a photo media artist.
What has been a turning point in your career?
I met Gita Weiss, who ran a commercial gallery in Sydney in the late 90s and through to about 2008 maybe. And I did volunteer work and I learnt a lot from working at that gallery. And then she ended up representing my work. The major kind of turning point actually was getting my first Australia Council grant. It was like $7,010 to go to Lebanon and cast noses. And it was based on this idea of Lebanese women kind of getting their noses made small to, look like Barbie doll noses. So I went to Lebanon to do that with the $7,000. So when I got back, Gita bought one of those images. Her and her husband, Christopher Snee, who's an artist, they taught me a lot about editing, what to leave out of an exhibition, but also, how to be true to yourself as an artist rather than to be catering to some market at the expense of your practice.
What is the most pressing issue for you as an artist right now?
Well, look, what art does and what artists do, I think, are two separate things. I think what artists have the power to do is to call things out. For me, the most pressing issue is what's happening in Gaza, what's happening in the world to people. And that's not separate from my art. And I can't compartmentalise my art. I can't say my art is this job that I do. Like, I look at someone like Nan Goldin, I look at Candice Braitz, Adam Broomberg. There are so many artists that use their platform and their power to call things out. And we've seen that over the last year and a half. And I take great comfort and inspiration from that.
What is something you wish you knew when you were starting out as an artist?
Oh, you don't need to hurry. Like, I just had this incredible sense of urgency and this sense that it had to happen straight away. It was a really amazing, moment. I think my gallery had closed and I'd just had kids and I had to kind of re-navigate like my life, my professional life as an artist. And there's just this moment where it's like, look, art is just something that makes sense of the world, makes sense of myself in relation to the world. Certainly the work that I'm doing now aims quite explicitly for that. So, that art's not a product. It's not to be bought and sold.
How has NAVA's code of practice been useful to your work as an artist?
Yeah, just ethics, paying people correctly and not exploiting people and, getting their consent. Those first few years of my practice, the work I was creating was street photography and, again, like early 2000s, photographing people without their permission and learning a lot about what that feels like. Like, if I feel like a creep stalking people with a camera, that's because, maybe I am. So, there were lots of lessons to learn around. You might be able to get a really incredible image, but is that really how I want to work? So things like that, I think. Ethics.
What brings you joy in your work?
Oh, I think now, after nearly 30 years, it's definitely sharing it with people. My practice now is it's quite participatory. It often uses photography less as something to produce an image at the end, but more to create a social interaction. It's often those connections, conversations you have, just standing out in the street talking to people and taking photos together and laughing. People tell you their life story in the space of 5 minutes and then they walk away, and vice versa. Yeah, so it's the conversation and, people.